The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 2024 pre-Christmas edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses. We talk to the business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We learn how they got into business and why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. You're going to hear all about their successes, challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoe Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. And of course, you can see us on YouTube. And we like to remind the YouTube watchers that this is a radio show that originates in Syracuse, New York, which is in the center of the state of beautiful New York State, the good part.
I was going to say,
we're in the good part.
We are in the good part.
And, that's what we do. We'll record what we do on the radio just so people can see. And, there are some of our customers who ship all around, or their services go all around New York State and go state to state and all that kind of stuff.
All that kind of stuff. It's true. I'd be okay if there was some kind of a thing that said, you know what? Sorry, our next guest is from New York, but let me just say something. If they draw a line at like Poughkeepsie and said, okay, you guys are one and we're the rest, and we'll call that New York, and we can just be...
Well, that's not fair, because our first guest is from...
that's what I was saying. I know.
Downstate,
but
originally.
She doesn't sound like it anymore.
No, we've kind of beat it out of her there. Yeah. All right. Dr. Nicole, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Very good. Thanks. It's been a little bit, and, like I always say, people forget our names after the show closes. Like, they're like, well, what did we just listen to? So they might not remember who you are and your background. Why don't you give it to us?
Yeah, so I'm originally from downstate in the Bronx.
The island.
The Bronx.
You lived on the island, didn't you? Weren't you on the island?
My husband's from the island.
Okay, I knew somebody was.
Yeah. So anything above Westchester is upstate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I went to Syracuse University for my undergraduate degree and my graduate degree in audiology and my doctorate, and then I stuck around.
Very nice. Yeah. And you like it up here now because
I
it's
do.
Beautiful. And as we get into the winter months here, you don't mind a little snow.
No,
You've gotten used to it.
I've gotten used to it. Yeah, it's not too different from New York. We get more rain downstate, but snow is, you could brush it off and be fine.
Right. So about your practices, what is it that you guys do over at Syracuse Hearing Solutions?
Yeah, everything ear related, from ear cleanings, wax removal. We do hearing testing, hearing aids, balance testing, balance treatment, hearing protection, tinnitus assessments and treatment for that ringing in your ears, so on and so forth.
Are certain people predisposed to having a lot of ear problems from a young age?
Yes, actually. Some hearing loss is genetic, so we see a lot of, some kids that have hearing loss. I've been seeing more and more kids lately, actually. Ear infections, they may be more prone to getting ear infections, which is more common in children. Mm-hmm. Most of the time they outgrow it, but sometimes it continues into at least early adulthood. We see it all there.
I can remember because
you can remember something.
I'm of a vintage.
Wow! Listen,
like a fine wine, I have vintage, and I remember when we were transitioning away from over-the-ear headphones to earbuds and things like that, and I had heard that it wasn't going to be good for people to have stuff shoved in your ear. Is that a problem, generationally?
Yeah, so a lot of people walk around with earbuds in their ears, and sometimes the limit of the sound is not controlled. So they may be listening to it too long, for too loud.
Yeah.
And it can affect their hearing potentially. You could set limiters on it so it doesn't go beyond a certain loudness level, so it doesn't do damage. But
what do you think as it relates to infection? Because you know, a lot of times you're not cleaning your earbuds. I never clean my earbuds, and you just keep putting them back in, and they sweat and.
Yeah,
That's
some
disgusting.
people can get some.
I just thought anybody, did anybody else listening go, ew, other than me? Just saying. Okay, go ahead and go handle
I love
that.
talking about earwax and ears. So it is a good idea to have good ear hygiene and clean them off, wipe them off, change those earbuds every so often.
Yeah.
I even looked at my daughters and I'm like, ooh, I got to clean this off for you.
Right.
But yeah, give them a good wipe down to make sure that you are having good ear hygiene.
To your point,
get an ear infection.
Yeah, to your point about loud music, I was at the gas station the other day, and
Was
oh
there
my
a
gosh,
concert there?
No, well, there should have been. The guy that came up in the car, and it was so loud. It was one of those cars you go by, and I'm like, that's nice, and he's making a statement, which is, I'm going to be deaf when I'm 50. That's the statement he's making. But you hear that, and I almost want to go, I don't want to be that guy, but that can't be good.
No, actually, I mean, we're seeing people younger and younger with hearing loss due to noise-induced hearing problems.
Right.
People are cranking the sound, and even restaurants these days, movie theaters, some of them are just way too loud. Concerts, I recommend wearing earplugs for concerts. That's what I do to protect my hearing too, because it could be damaging.
No, I do wear earplugs. A whole bunch of years ago, I had a traumatic brain injury, and sound was very, very troubling.
Yeah, it made you nuts.
And I wear earplugs to church. If I go to concerts now, I'm like, they're kind of optional, but I like to bring a set of earplugs just because.
And takes the edge off the sound a little bit.
It takes the edge. So before, you talked about kind of the nurturing side of it. When you talk about helping someone hear that couldn't hear, you like turn into a woman and you get all like weepy and one and kind, and the estrogen flows. Tell me about that for a second, and tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong on that.
I love helping people hear better. I mean, we change lives, and I love what I do. It's so nice to see, people come in, and it's challenging because they don't admit they have hearing loss. They're in denial. They're worried about stigma, thinking they're old, but that's not the case. I mean, people, once they, wear hearing aids, if they have hearing loss and they're hearing better, they actually, I swear, they feel younger. They act younger, they're happier, their whole demeanor changes, and I love when they say, you've changed my life, and that no matter how challenging it could be, after that, it's just, it makes it all worthwhile.
It's true, and Tom and I have had our ears checked out there, so if you're looking for the real deal, not order 2 hearing aids before midnight tomorrow and save for $4, and the stuff that I hear out there, talk to Nicole, get a hearing exam, SyracuseHearingSolutions.com, 468-2985, and it'll be a great experience, 468-2985, SyracuseHearingSolutions.com. Thank you, Nicole.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.